how y'all doing? We are here to bring y'all some news today. And when I tell you this news right here gets me heated and fired up, girl, what is going on? DJ, stop the beat. We talking about Cassandra. Cassandra. Rest in peace, Cassandra. That is the lady that you see on the screen. A mother of 3. Not 1 baby, not 2, but 3. Taken out in broad daylight by her man, her boyfriend. It was so horrible. Cassandra did not have a chance. Do you hear me? When I tell you this dude that you see on the screen, this black man, this black king that y'all so-called, he came outside with a long pow. Them long ones with the binoculars on the pow. And he got a distance from her, so she didn't even see it coming, girl. He was hiding somewhere in the bushes with the long rifle and struck her. She fell down. Then he came out from where he was hiding. He walked up to her. He whispered something in her ear and then popped her 2 more times. 2 more times after he whispered in the ear. I don't know if he told her, I told you I was going to do this. I don't know if he told her, see what you made me do. I don't know. But then he left and went to Tennessee and tried to take out a cop. These men, mental state of mind is gone. Mental state is not here. Y'all gotta look for the signs, and y'all so concerned about the DL man, but you're not concerned about these niggas that's taking you out. Cause they taking you out in droves. Okay? While y'all looking for signs of the DL man, you better be looking for signs of this nigga unstable. Now they are saying that he done knocked this woman teeth out. He have done all types of stuff to her. He is a repeat offender. Time and time again. And she never went through with the charges. She never press charges. Why don't y'all press charges? Huh? Why? You thinking, okay, because I give him mercy and I won't put him away, then he's just gonna leave me alone. They never do that. You are already a target once they fix their eyes on you. Man, so I'm going to need y'all to call in about this. Now, when I first put this on, we're going to have to address the elephant in the room. Some people have some very, very nasty comments about this lady by her looks. I was reading the comments and they said, is this a man? Is this a man? No, this ain't no damn man. But if she was a drag queen or if she was a trans woman, what you're trying to say, then shit, ain't nothing would change. He's still wrong. You got to watch your mouth before you start putting stuff out there. Stop judging somebody based on their looks. Just being so rude and disrespectful of the dead. Watch your mouth. I don't play that homophobic shit over here, and I don't play that transphobic shit over here either. So if you feeling some type of way, just hide in the bushes. Don't comment on that. Just hide in the damn bushes. Because if I see it, I'm sure gonna block it. Okay? So I just thought I'd put you on notice. I thought I would. Okay, so I'm gonna play the clip. So you guys ready?
Did not need anybody.
So while I'm playing the audio, I don't know why this audio is set up like this, but it sounds like it's coming from one side of the speaker. So you got to bear with me, okay? Check this out. Listen to this. Shout out to Twisted Crimes.
Rest assured, we will not rest until he's captured, justice is served, whether it be by a jury or Jesus.
He should never see the light of day again.
Animals don't do this. This is barbaric. This is unhuman behavior. It is pure evil to do something like that.
This is the story of Cassandra Jones, aged 48, a mother of 3 who was gunned down in broad daylight in an execution style by her longtime boyfriend, B.J. Brown, aged 32, in a downtown New Orleans.
Did y'all hear that? I don't know what happened. Hold on, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. You know, you touch one thing on this computer, and next thing you know, you on to something else. You touch one thing on this computer.
In 2020, there were
and next thing you know, you are on to something else. Why is it so fickle like this? So let's get back to this. I apologize. It's so fickle.
Captured, justice is served, whether it be by a jury or Jesus.
He should never see the light of day again.
Animals don't do this. This is barbaric. This is unhuman behavior. It is pure evil to do something like that.
This is the story of Cassandra Jones, aged 48, a mother of 3 who was gunned down in broad daylight in an execution style by her longtime boyfriend, B.J. Brown, aged 32, in a downtown New Orleans parking lot. B.J. Brown, a career criminal, shot her in the middle of the street with an assault rifle before he fled the scene to Tennessee, where he tried killing a police officer. All this because she wanted to move on with her life. Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like.
People want to know, was that an actual, yeah, they have video footage of him actually doing this. People saw video footage of the boyfriend actually walking down the street with the rifle, which is right here. I really don't want to play it because I don't want to show the pow pow. And they saw video footage of him with the rifle, and he shoots her from a distance. Homegirl didn't have a chance. That's what I'm trying to tell you. He shot her from a distance in broad daylight. Then when she fell down, he ran up to her and whispered something in her ear and shot her 2 more times in the chest. And then he left in broad daylight in front of a crowd. Everybody was seeing that. How about that? They don't care.
The execution-style killing of a woman in New Orleans, and tonight he is wanted for shooting an officer in Tennessee.
This story will be taking us to New Orleans. New Orleans is a Louisiana city on the Mississippi River, near the Gulf of Mexico. Nicknamed the Big Easy, it's known for its round-the-clock nightlife, vibrant live music scene and spicy, singular cuisine reflecting its history as a melting pot of French, African, and American cultures. Cassandra Jones, aged 48, was a mother and grandmother who grew up in Mississippi. The Mississippi native graduated from Vicksburg High School, where she was a cheerleader and ran track. She attended Hines Community College before moving to New Orleans for a job. After getting to New Orleans, she worked as a deputy clerk in an Orleans parish who at the time of this incident had recently gotten a promotion. She moved to New Orleans to find a better life for herself, not knowing that would be the end of her. While in New Orleans, she met B.J. Brown, age 32, with who she had an on-again off-again years-long relationship. Cassandra.
That's another sign. On and off again relationships. Y'all. When it don't work the first time, be like Keisha Cole and let that shit go. Be like Keisha Cole and let it go. When it don't work the first time. They said, look at her, y'all. She was independent. She was smart. She could go down and get a job. She moved to New Orleans to get a better life for herself. She's a mom, and not only is she a mom, but she's a grandma too. Sad.
Was described by her friends as the life of the party. She was the one most of them look up to. She was outgoing, always eager to make her own living.
She left a legacy all her own. Cassandra was someone who did not need anybody to toot her own horn.
Brown and Cassandra had a years-long relationship, punctuated by allegations of abuse. Cassandra had filed for a restraining order against B.J. Brown even though she did not go through with it. In a petition for a restraining order that she
Other thing, you heard that? She have filed many restraining orders against BJ, but she never went through with it. We need y'all to call in. I know y'all have press 1 if you ever had a restraining order on somebody. And we need y'all to call in. Why didn't y'all go through with it? Why did you go through with it? We need you to call in if you went through with it and you did not go through with it. Tell your story to help other people. Let's go.
She filed May 4th in Orleans Parish Criminal District Court. Cassandra detailed the alleged abuse, including punching, choking, kicking, sexual abuse, threats of bodily harm and financial intimidation. Cassandra wrote that on April 27th at approximately 3:30 a.m., Brown came to her apartment in the 1400 block of Bienville Street, where the two argued, Cassandra asking Brown not to wake her up so late at night because she had work the next day. Part of the documents reads, I then instructed Mr. Brown.
Okay, I see a lot of people talking about the age difference. She was 48 years old, she was 32. But that don't matter. Hell, we just talked about something yesterday and the dude was older than her, you know? The age difference have nothing to do with this man is off his rockers, and a lot of them is off their rockers. Whether they be the same age as you, whether they be older than you or younger than you. If a nigga is off his rockers, he off his rockers. This 32-year-old would have did the same thing with a 21-year-old. Let's stop with the age shaming, but let's go.
To leave my home and disrespect the next woman. Mr. Brown subsequently removed his belt and began swinging it at me. The petition stated that Brown attacked Cassandra with the belt many times, injuring her body, but it was not the first time he had caused her injuries. She said that he attacked and knocked out her teeth in the past when she questioned him about a female he was connecting with because I found out about it. Cassandra dialed 911 following the April 27th assault, at which point Brown punched her, threw her on the ground, and stomped on her. When police arrived
Now that's a lot. Threw her on the ground, stomped her, and beat on her, and knocked out her teeth. I mean, this is a ruckus nigga right here. And often it's a lot of them are like that, and this is normalized in the black community. And these black women do not get these men locked up. And then the ones that do report, these niggas come out of jail and get out of bail and fuck them up even more. So, what do we do, y'all?
10 to 15 minutes later, they discovered that Brown had fled her flat from the balcony on the second story. She knew he would return because he had forgotten his cell phone and car keys. Cassandra hurled the phone from a third-story window but refused to hand over the automobile keys because Brown did not own the vehicle. According to her petition, Brown attempted to suffocate her with a pillow after hours of fighting. Cassandra said, "All I want is for Mr. Brown to move on and be with whatever he has been with, leave me alone, and return my car." On this particular day, Cassandra was on her way to work when she was ambushed by Brown for reasons unknown. He waited for her near her apartment. Brown was seen on camera with a rifle walking towards Cassandra.
Do y'all hear this shit? He waited for her. She was on her way to work. Isn't that eerie? You break up with this man that's been beating on you. You don't file a police report. You haven't heard from him in a few days. So you think everything is good. Until one day, out the blue, you on your way to work, and he catch you a mile away. She didn't see it coming. He was far away. He had a rifle aiming at her and hit her. And then after he hit her, he ran up on her and then he whispered stuff in her ear. They said he got down and he was whispering something in her ear. And then he shot her 2 more times and fled the screen.
Cassandra, who was already on the ground. He was seen shooting her twice in the body at close range, then walking away. Emergency medical services took Cassandra to University Medical Center, where she died within a few hours. Shortly after the shooting, New Orleans police obtained a warrant for Brown's arrest on second-degree murder charges, and the Violent Offenders Warrant Squad and U.S. Marshals hunted for him that day.
Police identify the man in a gruesome video showing the execution-style killing of a woman in New Orleans. And tonight, he is wanted for shooting an officer in Tennessee. Good evening, I'm Kim Holden.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Police vow to find a man accused of killing a woman in New Orleans and shooting an officer outside of Nashville.
And tonight we're learning more about the suspect B.J. Brown's past. Caitlin Rust has the latest on the manhunt.
Animals don't do this. This is barbaric. This is unhuman behavior. It is pure evil to do something like that.
A horrific video circulating on social media shows the cold-blooded, broad daylight murder of 48-year-old First City Clerk of Court employee Cassandra Jones.
And you see they always wearing a damn hoodie. Now, don't be mad that when these niggas wear a hoodie, I step back. When they wearing a hoodie, I go across the street. I'm not fucking around with these niggas in these hoodies. Because you see he done put on a hoodie. Because that means he ready to get on demon time. And a lot of time when they on demon time, ready to rob, steal, and kill, and destroy, they be wearing them damn hoodies. I'm not messing with the damn hoodie agenda.
Jones.
Everybody's just numb, you know, because she was a team member. She was family.
Police say her killer is 32-year-old B.J. Brown, who they obtained a second-degree murder warrant for. But just hours after they started looking for him, Brown had fled to Erin, Tennessee. That's where police say during a traffic stop, Brown got out of his vehicle and shot an officer, then ran off into the dense woods. The officer has non-life-threatening injuries. Jones's life was cut short, however. A mother of 2 children, described as a hard worker, trying to provide for her family. Austin Badon says Jones had domestic issues with Brown. Fox 8 has obtained a copy of the 25-page temporary restraining order Jones filed in May. It alleges Brown punched, choked, shoved, kicked, threatened, intimidated, and sexually abused her, along with mental, emotional, and financial abuse. It details an early morning incident, April 27th, around 3:30, when Brown allegedly came over and they began to fight. Jones says she told him to get out, and he hit her with a belt several times, bruising her. 911 was called, and Jones says Brown punched her.
Jones, aged.
Can we talk about this just 1 second real quick before I continue on? And I'm sorry. Hold up. Wait. Stop. DJ, stop the beat. What will possess a whole human being to get a belt and start whooping you? What will possess a man to hit you like that? Didn't his parents raise him, men don't supposed to be hitting on women? Huh? But he didn't feel that way. He felt that he owned her. He can rock her world, rock them teeth out, and all because of what? He wasn't getting his way? Y'all need to call in about this. Explain
Jumped
this.
off of her upstairs balcony to escape. After the officers left, she says he got back into her apartment where they continued to fight, and he tried to smother her with a pillow. She also alleged there was another occasion where she confronted him about cheating on her, and he punched her, knocking her teeth out. However, Jones never showed up to court to follow through with the restraining order.
We spoke.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? She never followed through. She never showed up to court. Why didn't she show? And I'm not blaming her. I would never blame a victim. But why didn't she show up to court, y'all? Why don't y'all follow through? Maybe because she was scared? Shit, is that a good reason? Because look what happened now.
says Brown punched her and threw her to the ground, stomping on her. Once police arrived, she says Brown jumped off of her upstairs balcony to escape. After the officers left, she says he got back into her apartment where they continued to fight and he tried to smother her with a pillow. She also alleged there was another occasion where she confronted him about cheating on her and he punched her, knocking her teeth out. However, Jones never showed up to court to follow through with the restraining order.
We spoke about it. I gave her my full support. I encouraged her to go through with it, and I believe she decided not to go through with it.
Got it all gassed up and ready.
All right, so this is a commercial. We're going to let this commercial go through. But I need you guys to call in. This is serious, and this has happened so often to these black moms.
Lengthy criminal history spanning more than a decade across several parishes, mainly St. John, where he had been arrested more than 10 times over the past 10 years. Some of those charges include domestic abuse battery, but were dropped by the victim. Brown is considered armed.
Did y'all hear that? He was arrested for many times, but it was always dropped by the victims. These women are always dropping the case. And like I said, I'm not blaming them, but it's something we got to tell them that they got to follow through. They have to follow through.
Where she confronted him about cheating on her and he punched her, knocking her teeth out. However, Jones never showed up to court to follow through with the restraining order.
We spoke about it. I gave her my full support. I encouraged her to go through with it, and I believe she decided not to go through with it.
I dug into Brown's lengthy criminal history spanning more than a decade across several parishes, mainly St. John, where he had been arrested more than 10 times over the past 10 years. Some of those charges include domestic abuse battery, but were dropped by the victim. Brown is considered armed and dangerous as law enforcement from several surrounding counties in Tennessee continue searching the rugged terrain.
Brown, a violent, habitual, repeat offender, had, however, already gone to Tennessee. Around 65 miles west of Nashville, an officer with the Erin Police Department performed a traffic check on Highway 149. Brown shot him while he was in his police car. Brown escaped on foot into a wooded, mountainous area after exchanging gunfire with the officer.
Erin, Tennessee. Police are looking for a man who shot an officer there. This is in Houston County, about an hour and a half from Nashville. The Erin police chief just gave an update. Chief Mark Morris says the officer pulled over the suspect at a traffic stop on Highway 149. The suspect got out of his car and then refused to listen to the officer and get back in. That's when he shot at the officer.
Wow, did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear about this? He was speeding. The officer pulled him over for speeding, and he got out of the car, BJ, and he started shooting at the officer. BJ is a bad mother. Shut your mouth. That man is ruthless. You mean to tell it was no signs that this man was off the rockers? And people are saying she worked for the courts. People are saying, why didn't she look up his records? Because she worked at the damn courthouse. And like I said, I'm not blaming the victim, but goddamn, we got to question the victims too now. You know, this man was whooping on her all these many times. Why did she continue on? He didn't show signs in the beginning, and it seemed like he don't hide nothing. Let's go.
Sir, will be okay, but police will not give up until they find the suspect.
Make no mistake whatsoever. This was an ambush on an officer. Rest assured, we will not rest until he's captured, justice is served, whether it be by a jury or Jesus.
So once the shootout ended, the suspect ran. Law enforcement from several agencies are in Erin right now to help find that suspect.
On the run for 2 more days, Brown was caught Wednesday morning in Houston County, Tennessee, near the town of Erin. The handcuffs used were from the officer who Brown allegedly shot and injured during the traffic stop.
Good evening, I'm Katie Moore.
And I'm Sharice Gibson. Tonight, the man accused of killing his ex-girlfriend in New Orleans and then driving to Tennessee, where he's accused of shooting a police officer, is in jail.
It all started on Monday morning on Iberville Street. Then police say BJ Brown drove more than 500 miles to the town of Erin, Tennessee, northwest of Nashville, where police there say he shot an officer. Brown was arrested this morning after a manhunt.
Well, Mike McDaniel looks more into Brown's past criminal history and asks why he was out of jail in tonight's top story.
Allegedly murdering his ex-girlfriend and shooting a Tennessee officer while on the run, the crimes linked to 32-year-old BJ Brown are not exactly surprising to St. John Parish Sheriff Mike Treg.
He is a violent, habitual, repeat offender.
Treg says Brown has been arrested at least 15 times since 2010. Court documents show a history of charges, some violent, including pursuits, drugs, assault, robbery, injuring a police dog, and resisting an officer.
We've even had cases of domestic violence with him and the young lady that he murdered.
Monday's murder was caught on cell phone video. It shows a man walk up to 48-year-old Cassandra Jones outside a New Orleans apartment complex with what appears to be an assault. He shoots her multiple times.
He should never see the light of day again. And I wish we could have done something to prevent that from happening. Maybe could have been in jail. I don't know.
Court records show Brown's past charges in St. John Parish landed him in jail for only 94 days. Some charges were either not pursued or dropped by the victim, Cassandra Jones. The only pending charges involve a high-speed crash on River Road back in October.
He crashed into citizens who were injured, 3 adults and a child, where he basically totaled all vehicles.
Treg worries about a failure in the justice system, especially since Brown was on probation for drug charges at the time of the murder. Last month, Brown was sentenced to 2 years probation instead of 3 years in jail. 2 days later, Jones filed a restraining order for domestic violence against Brown in Orleans Parish. She was killed a month and a half later.
He definitely what I consider a violent criminal history and a person that definitely needs to be off the streets and probably should have been off the streets a long time ago.
On the run for 2 days, Brown was caught Wednesday morning in Houston County, Tennessee, near the town of Erin. The handcuffs used were from the officer who Brown allegedly shot and injured during a traffic stop.
His gear probably had a little bit of blood on him, but I didn't wash him off because he had blood, this officer's blood on his hands anyway.
For Police Chief Mark Moore and his 6-man department, it's personal. Treg says the court system should expedite the case.
If you commit a crime and it's just undeniable and your guilt is obvious, this case should not take years to prosecute.
His record shows that since 2010, deputies have arrested Brown more than 15 times for crimes involving drugs, weapons, and high-speed pursuits. He crashed into citizens who were all injured, 3 adults and a child, where he totaled all vehicles. Court records show Brown's past domestic violence charges in St. John Parish landed him in the parish jail for only 94 days. Some charges were either not pursued or dropped by the victim, Cassandra Jones.
As a black woman and someone being gunned down in our city, totally unacceptable. The apprehension of Mr. Brown, something that we absolutely celebrate. I do.
The mother of 3 was getting ready to go to work that morning as a deputy clerk in Orleans Parish. First City Court Clerk Austin Baudon hired Jones about a year ago. He met her when she was seeking emergency rental assistance, but what she really wanted was a job, and he saw her potential.
We sat and we talked, and she had the attributes that I was looking for. She had the computer skills. She had people skills. And I saw somebody who was looking not for a handout, they wanted to work.
Jones' family said in a statement, Cassandra was a vibrant lady who was loved by many people. She had a personality that would definitely light up a room. Our hearts have been ripped apart. She meant the world to us. Her family said she and Brown used to date, and several months ago, Jones sat in Baudon's office, letting him know she considered filing a restraining order against Brown.
I could see it in her eyes and hear it in her voice that she was afraid to leave and go home.
Brown is currently in the Houston County Jail in Tennessee facing a charge of attempted murder of a police officer. Brown could be transferred to face charges in Louisiana. Our sincere condolences to the friends and families of Cassandra Jones.
Do you hear that? Do y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that though? Did you hear the reason why they got him and put him down? Because he struck a police officer, a white police officer at that. They don't play about their own. They don't play about their own. And he's in jail because of him shooting that police officer. He not in jail for that woman. Did y'all catch that? He is not in jail for that black woman. Listen to it again. I'm going to replay a little bit.
He should never see the light of day again. And I wish we could have done something to prevent that from happening. Maybe could have been in jail. I don't know.
Court records show Brown's past charges in St. John Parish landed him in jail for only 94 days. Some charges were either not pursued or dropped by the victim, Cassandra Jones. The only pending charges involve a high-speed crash on River Road back in October.
He crashed into citizens who were injured, 3 adults and a child, where he basically totaled all vehicles.
Treg worries about a failure in the justice system, especially since Brown was on probation for drug charges at the time of the murder. Last month, Brown was sentenced to 2 years probation instead of 3 years in jail. 2 days later, Jones filed a restraining order for domestic violence against Brown in Orleans Parish. She was killed a month and a half later.
He definitely what I consider a violent criminal history and a person that definitely needs to be off the streets and probably should have been off the streets a long time ago.
On the run for 2 days, Brown was caught Wednesday morning in Houston County, Tennessee, near the town of Erin. The handcuffs used were from the officer who Brown allegedly shot and injured during a traffic stop.
His gear probably had a little bit of blood on him, but I didn't wash him off because he had blood this.
And I gotta say something too. See, it took the white man to get the black man down. Now you think if we would have left it to black men in that neighborhood to get justice, will we ever find justice if we leave it to the black man to get justice for black women out here? Press 1 if you feel like if we just allow black men in the hood to get justice and let's not let the police do it, since y'all, because y'all that's what y'all saying. Y'all don't want to fund the police. Y'all want the police to leave y'all alone and let y'all own people police y'all. They ain't gonna take his ass down. It took the white man to do it. That's all I'm saying though.
Officer's blood on his hands anyway.
For Police Chief Mark Moore and his 6-man department, it's personal. Treg says the court system should expedite the case.
If you commit a crime and it's just undeniable and your guilt is obvious, this case should not take years to prosecute.
His record shows that since 2010, deputies have arrested Brown more than 15 times for crimes involving drugs, weapons, and high-speed pursuits. He crashed into citizens who were all injured, 3 adults and a child, where he totaled all vehicles. Court records show Brown's past domestic violence charges in St. John Parish landed him in the parish jail for only 94 days. Some charges were either not pursued or dropped by the victim, Cassandra Jones.
As a black woman and someone being gunned down in our city, totally unacceptable. The apprehension of Mr. Brown, something that we absolutely celebrate. I do.
The mother of 3 was getting ready to go to work that morning as a deputy clerk in Orleans Parish. First City Court Clerk Austin Badon hired Jones about a year ago. He met her when she was seeking emergency rental assistance, but what she really wanted was a job, and he saw her potential.
We sat and we talked, and she had the attributes that I was looking for. She had the computer skills, she had people skills, and I saw somebody who was looking not for a handout, they wanted to work.
Jones' family said in a statement, Cassandra was a vibrant lady who was loved by many people. She had a personality that would definitely light up a room. Our hearts have been ripped apart. She meant the world to us. Her family said she and Brown used to date, and several months ago, Jones sat in Badon's office, letting him know she considered filing a restraining order against Brown.
I could see it in her eyes and hear it in her voice that she was afraid to leave and go home.
Brown is currently in the Houston County Jail in Tennessee facing a charge of attempted murder of a police officer. Brown could be transferred to face charges in Louisiana. Our sincere condolences to the friends and families of Cassandra Jones. May Cassandra's memory be a blessing for her family and for all who knew her, and may her life and death be an inspiration and a turning point towards justice and increased protection for domestic abuse survivors.
Did you hear that? They said could, after after he get finished serving in a police court for shooting that white cop, he could be transferred. They didn't say he will. They said he could. And we already know what that means. Just like they said Cabo 6 could be prosecuted, but they ain't been prosecuted yet. You know, so I'm going to open up the phone lines. We need to talk about this. This is something serious that goes on too often, and the media is not going to talk about it because they're going to, hey, y'all need to call in, because I did have some phone calls, but the phone calls done left. Y'all need to call in on this. I can't believe it. I cannot believe what is going on. This man kicked her teeth out, smothered her in her face with the pillow. He was driving her car, because that wasn't his car, that was her car. I cannot believe it. She didn't even see it coming, y'all. This man been whooping her day in and day out. Okay, they've been on and off of this relationship for years, and he's been whooping her ass for years. Do you hear me? And she did file a police report, but they said she never went through with it. And the last time, baby, honey, she said the last time she confronted him about another woman. And did you know he blacked out and took his fish and knocked her out? Then took his belt out and started hitting her with the hard buckle. She's over there screaming like a ball, just like, oh my God, here we go again. She called the cops. So he jumps off of the balcony, because she stayed in them apartment buildings. He jumps out the balcony. The cops come, okay? I guess they took a write-up report. And when the cops left, why did he jump back in? Why? He was around the apartments hiding out, y'all, waiting for the cops to leave. They said once the cops left, he came back up and they started tussling again. And when they tussled, he took the pillow and was trying to smother her. We need y'all to call in about this. Call the hotline. Y'all see the hotline. Call in. And, man, oh man, she thought that was it. But she never continued to press them charges. Then next thing you know, she's going to work. She thinking everything is fine. She haven't heard of BJ in a minute, couple of days. She thinking just because she didn't continue on pressing charges, then maybe he'll leave her alone and maybe he'll go off with another woman. Because remember, he was entertaining another woman too. So she was hoping that he would entertain the other woman and just leave her ass alone. Because that's why she didn't want to press charges, because every time she would press charges, she felt like that's going to make him more upset and he going to come after me even more. Because y'all know sometimes y'all feel that way. Even though the nigga did bad, but you fear if you call the cops and you press charges, that's going to piss him off even more and give him more motive to whoop your ass. So she left it alone. And a couple of days going by, and she thought everything was fine. She was going to work in the morning from her apartment. Do you know this nigga was hiding out? Do you know he was hiding out? He didn't give her no warnings those last couple of days. No warning in sight. So he piled her with a rifle. She didn't even see it coming. Can you imagine? You going to work and somebody hiding in the bushes, what? How many feet? I don't know. 200 feet, 300 feet, 500 feet. Pretty much when you look around on your outside, you don't see nobody because they hiding in the wing. They hiding in the bushes with a rifle at your head. So he piled her. She falls down. This is in broad daylight, so you think it's daylight shit. You know, you'll see them coming in daylight. You'll think it's daylight. You know, most thugs do not operate in daylight. Yes, these niggas operate daylight, night, in night. They operate 24/7, non-stop, diabolical niggas on the scene with the hoodie and against the lean. Okay, so after he hit her from a mile away, he walks up to her, whispers something evil in his ear. Can you imagine that? You on your deathbed, girl. You is laid out. You a mom of 3. And you got grandkids. You is outside on the concrete bleeding out. And that nigga walk up to you and whisper something in your ear. Can you imagine her last thoughts? Like, damn, only if I would just leave these niggas alone. I don't know. But after he whispered whatever in her ear, he hit her twice with the pow. And he fled the scene like a coward. Like they always do. They always feel the clean. All right, so we got some callers. Calling from 347. You're live on the air. 347.
Hi, good night, Gigi. It's me again. I just had to call back on this topic. I noticed that there are a lot of black women being killed by black men. And I noticed that there's no outrage in the black community about these kind of things constantly happening. And another thing that I've noticed too, like, she should have got a restraining order. Somebody knock your teeth out your head. What will it take for you to realize that this person does not value your safety or your life? So for me, it's like at some point or another, she has to also take responsibility. Even it's never good to speak bad about the dead, but nobody punch you in your face and knock teeth out your head and you don't take that person seriously, that person is violent. And not only is he violent, he has a criminal past. You're living in your house. I'm betting he don't have a job because he's driving her car.
You sure right.
Really
He probably
sad.
don't. Mm-hmm.
No, you don't. Think about it. He's driving her car. If she took the car back from him, right? So he must have gunned her down, jumped in her car, and used her car as an escape route. So think about it from this way. He has nothing to lose. Because when she put him out, where does he go? If he can't even afford a used car, you can get a used car for like $1,500, Gigi. If he can't afford a used car, where is he going to go? And for him to do that in broad daylight, he's not only letting you know that he's a savage, he's letting you know, I have nothing else to lose. This is it.
Yeah, you're right about that. Well, I thank you so much for calling. We got other calls. Okay, Global, reset. I'm going to block you. Okay, we're not going to be transphobic in here, and that is not a trans woman. That is, see with the bullshit. I'm not going to tolerate this. High user from the channel. See, you better off just hide in the bushes. You better off just hide in the bushes. Y'all not gonna sit up on here and try to call her a man or call her trans nothing. Stop the phony bull crap. I don't support that bull crap y'all doing in the comment section. I will block you real quick. You may as well just hide it. If you are transphobic and homophobic and have some hate in your heart, just hide in the bushes. Just hide in the bushes. Don't comment, because I'm going to block you. Okay, now let's give a big old thank you to Angelica. She donated $5. She said a resident at the apartment complex got the whole thing on camera. Yes, it is. And people were talking about that in the comment section. They saw the whole thing play out. They saw when BJ got the rifle and was walking and hid around the building. They saw when Cassandra fell down. They saw when BJ ran up to Cassandra in broad daylight and hit her twice, and I don't know if it was her chest or her face, and before he did that, he whispered in her ear. Okay, now we got some more callers. Please call in. I'm glad that the other caller, she called in and she said some things, and she said this. How do y'all feel? And I'm not going to talk about the dead, but the people that are living, that are in the same situation where your man is putting paws on you, and you know he's a danger. Okay? People want to say you have a responsibility to get out of that relationship. You have a responsibility to call the police. But people are saying this. They said that that paper is not going to protect you. They said police is not going to protect you. So what is a girl to do when she feels like the police is not going to protect her, and she fears to make a move because her life is on the line? And this black king right here, he sees her as, this is my property. I own this hoe. And they don't even see these girls as women. They see them as a bitch. And it don't matter if she got more money than him. They still gonna see you as a bitch. It don't matter how cute you is. It don't matter how skinny you is. It don't matter how feminine you are. It does not matter how submissive you are. It does not matter how obedient you are. It does not matter if you got clothes on and you're not dressing like a Jezebel. Baby, you can be dressing from your head to all your foot. It can be covered. They still gonna dog walk your ass and put paws on you and treat you like a hoe. Okay? Okay? So let's go on to the next caller. And I'm asking y'all to please likes. It's a shame these likes are so low. We got over 1,000 people up in here, and we only got 500 likes on this important conversation. Only 500 likes. Get these likes up. Every evening, I will come live and I will talk about these topics right here. Real topics that happen. Cassandra is a real person that died. This is not no love and hip hop. This is not no damn entertainment for you. This shit is happening in real time, in real life. Cassandra is a real person. She's a mom. She's a grandmom. She's a daughter. She's a sister. She's an auntie. She's a real person. Her life was taken out of here by a nigga out here in these streets. And this is what I want to know. This is what I would like. I know it's not going to happen. But when these niggas go to jail for this shit, can we find out who the mama is? Can we find out who the daddy is? I would love to talk to BJ mom. I would love to talk to BJ daddy. Okay? I would love to talk to BJ ex-girlfriends. Why is it we don't go after I want to go after the whole family. Yeah, it's not enough that y'all throwing his ass in jail. I want the whole family on the front court. Yes, I do. Because a lot of times they know, you know your son is off. You know your son is a demon. You know this. And you allow him to infect these women and get involved with these women. You don't give these women no heads up. I don't know, maybe the sun is going up on your head too. But y'all know these people ain't right. Y'all know that. I want to talk to them. That's what I want to do. I want to know who the mama is. I want to know who the daddy is. That's what I want. That's what I want. All right, let's go. Calling from 312. You're live on the air.
Hey, what's going on, GG?
Hey, talk to me. Can you turn the radio off, though, so I can hear you real
good?
I'm
going to turn it down right. I got it right now.
Go ahead.
Now, you know what? The thing is that, of course, it was love, and then it was fear. And then let me tell you what it is. What she had to do, because I know it was fear, what she had to do was get some kind of, she's got to get the love for herself, and then she's got to think about her children and her being here. She's got to get an escape plan, because that's the only way she's going to get rid of them. I can understand her saying that piece of paper is not going to help, But what you got to do is you got to bide your time, and you got to disappear. Whatever you got to give up, you got to get away. That's the only way you're going to get rid of a predator like him, because he's a bum, and I'm sure he was living off of her.
So if she was in that situation, do you feel like she should have continued to work like everything was fine? Do y'all feel like she should have just left work and just left town? What would y'all do?
She had to leave. She had to leave. An escape plan. There's no getting this idiot beating on her like that. There's nothing but an escape plan. You got to look out for you, look out for your kids, get them out of that situation as well. It's nothing else she could do. That's restraining order. All that's not going to do a damn bit of good. What she's got to do is disappear, relocate. She's got to escape from him because he's a predator.
Sleeping with the predator. And can you tell us what are predators? Define a predator. What do they do? Don't they hunt?
Hey.
Don't they hunt for a living?
Exactly. And listen to this. Sitting up there just weakening her and terrifying her. Only thing she could have did was get an escape plan and get the heck out of there, I'm telling you. Because I'm sure if he's that kind of nasty, disgusting type person he is, he probably told her, yeah, if you leave, I'll do something to your children or something like that. He's, one of them types. He's an animal. He's a straight animal, knocking a woman's teeth out, and then you think you're going to lay down with her and then go lay up with somebody else and then be driving her car and shoot the police. He's an animal. But then police got the answer for him, trust me.
You're right.
They're going to take care of that business.
And you see,
they're going to take care of that business.
You see, when
Am I right, GG?
What's up?
He told her, then police gonna take care of that business. Just like you said, it wasn't so much that they mentioned her; they mentioned him shooting that cop.
That's what he in jail. That's what he in jail for. He not in jail for her.
It's for the cop.
She has not got justice.
You said
it's for the cop. They said when he shot that cop, they said then that it was personal. Now, why is it when a black woman is taken out by a black man? Why the black community? Y'all don't see that shit as personal. It's not personal, y'all.
Exactly. Don't care. But he shot that white cop, probably shot him in the hand or something. Wasn't even life-threatening, but guess what? It's going to be life-threatening while he's up in there because they're going to take care of that business on him.
And I can't blame him. And I can't blame him. I can't blame him.
That's the only way she can, and guess what? That's the only way she's going to get some justice is because they're going to pay him back for that cop. Because other than that, I don't even believe they'd be looking for him. They wouldn't even know he was in Tennessee or wherever he was.
Yeah, he would have got away with it like the rest of them do.
I believe it because he most certainly left town. An animal, a straight animal, beating up that beautiful girl like that, just ridiculous. Oh man, my heart goes out to her family. You know what I'm saying? And she was a professional. And you can't. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. I believe she knew about his dark past because when I worked for a company that did law research, and you just can't help but turn somebody's name up there and see what it is, okay? That's just natural instinct. You know what I'm saying? So I believe she knew he had that dark past.
Yeah, that's another topic too. Hold on. I just want to give a big old thank you to Lovely Mayhem, donated $5. She says, look, I had a stalker for 13 years. That's a lot of years.
Wow.
It's best to up and move, leave everything behind and run. They become
That's what I say.
Hold on, let me finish. They become fixated.
Exactly. And they're like this here. They know they got you by the balls. They know you can't move. You can disappear. You can do it. But you got to get you an escape plan. Get with your family. Don't tell nobody where I'm at. Or if you have to, don't even tell them where you at. But that's the only way to get away from a predator like this is, because I know he was getting money off of it. I know he was, because I bet he wasn't working. the drugs and the jail and all that. Who was he?
Girl.
And a beautiful girl, beautiful. You see her?
They don't give a damn about how beautiful you are. Y'all need to, y'all act like, oh, beauty gonna stop y'all, a man from whooping y'all asses.
That wasn't. No, that wasn't my point.
I know you not, but
that
people
was for
feel
her
that
family.
way.
Yeah, but I know it has nothing to do with that. It's got to do with that twist. And I tell you what, I'm telling you, I bet he was living off of her, just like the girl said, driving her car. And Betty wouldn't even pick up from work in her own car. That's how they do it in my job. These bras be letting the guys drive their car and come in with the dark glasses on, done beat the heck out of them. Same type deal. That's why I'm familiar with it. And
all right. Well, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you. We're going to let you go at this time. And let's give a big old thank you to Lovely Mayhem, donated $20. Thank you. And Lovely, if you want to call in and tell your story, please do so. If you guys want to call in and just tell a story that has something similar to do and you can make it kind of quick and you feel like it's going to help somebody, feel free to do so. Or it may help you just to get it on now because maybe you don't have somebody to talk to. Okay, but it is sad what is going on. What do y'all got to say about this? I'm looking in the comment section. You hit on the nail on the head, run and leave everything. Thank you, Lovely. How do we know if she let him drive her car? The reason why people are saying that because when he was beating on her, she called the cops and he left. He jumped out the window, girl, and he left his car. He left his phone, and he left the keys. And she threw him the phone, but she said she keeping them keys because them keys is hers. He does not own that car. That car is hers. And he was like, B, give me that damn car. That's my car. But he don't pay on that car. That car's not his name. That's her car. And she ain't want nothing to do with his ass. So he said, okay, ho. So he got back in that apartment and he started welling on her ass again. And this time he was trying to smother her. And then he took them damn keys back. Well, I don't know if he took the keys back or she kept the keys or somebody had them goddamn keys. But yeah, he don't have no car. He don't have no car. So let's continue on. Please leave to another city if y'all are in this situation. Right? He gonna be giving and receiving in prison. I'm a man. He is wrong. These niggas out of control. Let's go on to the next caller. Calling from 857. You're live from the air. 857.
Yes, hello.
Yes, talk to me.
Yeah, what's up, XOXO?
Talk to me. What's
up? I agree with the last caller. You have to just run. You have to run and leave everything behind.
Can you turn your radio off in the background, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, let me cut that off. And you have to think about your children. I don't know if she had children or not, but you know.
She's a mother of three. She's a mother of three.
Yes. Yes, she should have thought about her children. But you know what? I don't understand it though, but because I have a girlfriend that was married and she met her husband when they grew up together in the same neighborhood and they went to school together. She married him. And he was just as abusive as this man here. But my girlfriend right now is away from that situation. I don't know what happened. And she lost her mother when she was young. So I don't know what the situation is, that if the woman is just afraid to leave or it's a sickness, because I think it could be a psychological problem when a woman just lets a man abuse her. They get used to it. My girlfriend told me she had got used to it. And it was like a routine thing.
How did she get used to it? It didn't hurt. I don't like pain.
She didn't care. She took the pain. She took the suffering. And you know, and right now she's a dancer. She's a gospel dancer at our church, and I just love her to death because she got a story to tell. because there's no way that I would have took that abuse. And I'm 65 years old, but I would have never took it young, like in my 30s or 40s or whatever. But I want to know what drives a woman to take that abuse. What drives her to take that?
Well, can y'all call in the ones that continue to take it? Let us know what drives you to take it.
Yeah. What drives a woman to take that for years and years and years, knowing this person who he is, knowing his background, knowing that the, police can't help you. You didn't, put in all these complaints, but still being there. Still going around them, still living with them. I don't get it. That's
Okay,
too much.
well let me try. I don't know, so I can't speak for it. So I can't take the place, but I'm gonna try to be in a mindset. If I was in that,
and my heart is broken. My heart is broken. I mean, it just opened up another can.
Hold on, wait for it.
Yeah.
Wait for it. Let me conjure up something. Wait for it. Wait for it. Hold on. Wait. Let me meditate real quick. Hold on now. Why do I stay with him? Because I'm the only one that understands him. I'm the only one that care about him. He didn't have anybody that was there for him. And you don't know him like I know him. He's not always like that. We have a nice time, but the world is so cruel to him, and you don't understand him. And it's just when he's drinking or doing drugs and he get depressed, that's when he's like that. But that's not really who he is. That's just a part of the dark side with him. And I feel like I'm the only one, and he tells me this, I'm the only one that can really help him and make him whole. I make him feel like nobody else ever feel, because he never had anybody to love him. And I love him. And I don't want to give up on him.
Wow. So you care about this person more than yourself, so that means you don't love yourself. You don't love yourself enough to get away or run away because you love him just that much. That you just don't love yourself no more. Just goodbye to me, life or death, take me out. I don't care about myself anymore.
Well,
it never will.
I don't know, but in my mind, if I'm going to try to figure this out, like I said, I need those callers that's been through this to call in and weigh in. Yeah. But I'm just trying to figure something out. But hold on, let me answer you. You see, coming up, I was raised to care about other people. I was raised to be a caregiver or a nurturer, so... I just feel like it's my place to help people that are down and to help people that needs help. And I just want to give them love and nurture. It's not that I don't love myself, because I love myself, but I feel like it's my duty to help another soul and love on them because they never had that love.
Okay. Yes, and that's what God tells us to do too. Love those who you feel don't love themselves.
Right.
Enough.
And that's what we need. We need more love. And how could I expect him to change if I'm just cold to him like the world is? I feel like everybody deserves a chance.
But how long are you supposed to last with showing that person the love and affection and care that you have for them and being abused at the same time? And how long are you supposed to stay with that? How long are you supposed to do that? How long are you supposed to care enough to just keep getting beat and abused?
I don't know. I don't have the answers.
Just like the lady in the comments, she said, She took it for 13 years, and then she left everything behind and just ran.
Yeah, maybe she got enough of it. Maybe, she got enough of it, but maybe I don't have enough of it. Maybe
What
I'm
the
willing
man?
to continue on. And like I said, it's only when he drinks. Like when he goes into depression, he drinks, or he gets on the drugs a little bit. But he promised me that he won't do it again. Like he really wants to change. He wants a family, and I want to give him that. I think it's a blessing that I can help change a man around. I feel like that's what I was born to do, is to be a nurturer and a supporter for somebody that needs it, and he needs it. And I just feel like me leaving him when he needs me the most, that's just betrayal.
Wow. That makes me want to cry to know somebody goes through that. I mean, it really does want to make. I'm 65 years old. Can't even wrap my mind around that. Like for real, I can't. But it's reality. Like women go through that. Women do go through that and end up getting killed behind the love that they
they're
had.
always the sweet ones and the nice ones. But I appreciate you to calling. We gonna have some other callers. And maybe they calling in and they can weigh in more on this.
Yeah.
So
Some
stay
people that
tuned.
experience.
Stay tuned. Calling from 504. You're live on the air. 504.
Hey, Gigi, how you doing?
Good. Talk to me. What are your thoughts?
So I remember when this happened. This happened almost like a year ago, and I heard different stories. I heard from somebody close to the family that domestic violence was very, very prominent in their relationship. I know that he was extremely younger than her. She was taking care of him. I think she was like 48, almost 50. He was like 25. I heard that he
was
went to
32.
jail.
He was 32.
32. I know he was super, super younger than her. But yeah, so I heard that he went to jail, and while he was away, it was some kind of money. Now this is what I heard. I don't know, allegedly. Okay, this is what people been saying, that she stole money from him, and of course they was fighting. Like she, of course, felt.
Where was he working at for her to steal money?
He was in the drug game. Like he was, selling drugs, and she knew about it. From what I heard, mind you, this is what I heard. I don't know for a fact. And that he went to jail for over 10 years, and while he left her some money, like over $35,000, and apparently she spent it on her children, spent it on herself, bought a new car, whatever. And when he came back home, like he found out that she spent all his money, and he felt some type of way about it. And he, and they got into a big fight in the apartment complex, so much that people heard about it, So all of a sudden, he came and once he was like he wanted his money. She didn't have his money. I heard he went to got his gun and then shot her on her way to work early that morning. That's what I heard. So I don't know, but I know, like, after hearing y'all conversations, each and every person caller, like, dealing with domestic violence is very, very terrible. Like I said, I know it was prominent in their relationship because, the court, all the documentation stated that he was, domestically violent to her or whatever. And she dropped the charges 3 different times. So I feel like it's more to the story than just domestic violence, from what I heard so far, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense, and I'm glad you calling and filling some holes. So, is people in the streets? Yeah. Are the street people? Do you talk to the street people?
Yeah, people from the streets. Yes.
Okay, so what are they saying? Are they justifying the reason why he killed her because of the stolen money? What they saying?
They not justified in the fact that he killed her. That was wrong, especially the way she got killed. Like, nobody, that's terrible, But There was a backstory behind it that she stole all this money from him, and she, she knew about what he did, what he was doing, and she, dealt with him like a lot of people, a lot of women deal with these niggas. I'm sorry. I know I ain't supposed to curse. I know you, on YouTube or whatever.
No, you can say niggas. Go ahead.
Deal with these dudes that's in these streets out here, know what they about, and they hold them down. She had his money while he was locked up. Mind you, he was locked up for over 10 years. He came back home. Where was his money? His money was gone. And he felt some type of way. That's what I heard. New Orleans
So the
is pretty
whole
small.
thing, the reason why he took her out is because of the money. It wasn't because she didn't want nothing to do with him. Because the story is, the reason why he took her out is because she wanted to break up, and he didn't want to break up.
It was more to that. It was way, way more to that. But, of course, like I said, there was, fighting. He was hitting her and all that. That is true, but it was money. That's what I heard from different people.
Well, yeah,
like it was about
it's
money.
not an excuse, but these niggas would take you out over smaller money than that,
Yeah.
So what are the people are saying? Why did she choose to have a relationship with a drug dealer?
I don't know why people choose the people they with. Like, I can't, I don't know. You get, I don't know. I can't like, give a reason why she was with him. She probably loved him, but he was in that lifestyle. And she accepted the fact that he was in that lifestyle. And of course, see what happened to her. It's really sad.
So what are your advice to women that are, they're dating dope boys and men that are trapping and men that are scamming and selling drugs? What's your advice to them?
I know the money probably seemed nice to have, but it's not worth it at the end. It's not worth, because sometimes you might don't die, but you might end up in jail too. Like, it's not worth it. It's, it might be fun and games, and, I got me a dope boy, I got me a, whatever they call them for DZ, but it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. The fast money, it's just not worth it, if you ask me.
Yeah, we asked you. So tell us.
I was just giving you a different perspective because, of course, domestic violence is really terrible. Women deal with it every single day for different reasons. Sometimes it's for the kids. Sometimes it's for low self-esteem. Sometimes it's for whatever reason, money,
Yeah.
But it's more to the story.
But is it really dangerous? I mean, is it really horrible? Because how people acting, y'all don't act like it's horrible. I mean, y'all don't have no outrage about it. Y'all not moving like this thing is a ST, you know what? Y'all act like diseases is horrible. I don't want that shit. But when it comes to you hearing a man pound the girl, then why other women gonna date this nigga? Now you heard that he went upside Sally head and went upside Keisha head, but now you want to have a turn. Now, if you heard he had that hot sauce, then you wouldn't want to fuck with him, right? If you heard he had that hot sauce and he passed it on to Keisha and Keyshawn, you wouldn't want to fuck with that nigga. You said, nah, nigga, he got that damn hot sauce. And I'm not trying to shame people that, I'm not doing that.
Right.
But they already do it in the hood. They don't, but when you hear about this nigga going upside Keisha and Rhonda head, you want to sit your ass over there. Talk about it.
Right. People deal with these dudes for different reasons. They rather say they rather be like my man, than be alone, if that makes sense. They rather have a man, no matter if he beats them aside their head, as long as they have a man. It makes them feel secure. It's insecurity a lot of the time. And sometimes a woman just love their man so much. They probably put years and years. It's different situations, Gigi. It's different stories from different women.
They pick and choose the type of man they want now. If they heard that man is gay or zesty, they not going to be all up on that man.
You never know. Like, what if the zesty dude got, he like, can you be my beer for, this lifestyle? And some
Girl,
women would
okay,
do it.
okay, well that's what they do. I didn't know. Is that what they doing in the streets? Cause when I'm looking on the shade
Sometimes
room,
money makes people do.
when I'm looking in the
Sometimes
shade
the money
room,
is the root of all evil, Gigi. It's the root of all evil. People
when
will do
I'm looking in
anything
the
for
shade room, the comments
some
giving
people.
something else. So the comments lying.
What the comments saying on the shade room?
The comments like, no, I would not date that man because he, he get down, he bending over. Nah, I ain't with that. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. So that's what I'm saying. But
Sometimes the dollar makes some people holler, and then people want to do all types of stuff. You know? Sometimes the dollar makes me want to do all types of crazy stuff they say they wouldn't do.
But they don't mind dating Fabulous, knowing that he knocked out Emily T. They still on his nuts.
And Fabulous has money, and guess what? Fabulous life did not stop. He still got Emily and probably other hoes too. Can I say hoes? I'm
yeah,
sorry.
you can say hoes in different area codes. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. It's not that bad. Clearly, if you're gonna justify it with, okay, he has money, so clearly getting your ass whooped ain't that bad.
Gigi, stop saying justified. I'm not justified. I'm just giving reasons.
Well, what's the difference between a reason and justifying?
I feel like justifying is saying that I agree, and I think
justifying is saying, well, girl, he got money. Girl, he got money. Justifying is giving reasons why you justifying you with his ass.
Yeah, I'm just giving different reasons. I guess you could say justified. I'm giving different reasons why women do what they do sometimes. And it's just life,
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate
and my name is Angelique. You said my name wrong. I'm the one who's doing it to $4.99.
Shit, I'm always fucking up. I apologize, Angelique.
It's okay.
Okay, I appreciate you, boo.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. And let's give a big old thank you to Lovely, donated $20. Thank you, Lovely. Lovely said he would have scared me, then soothed me by not scaring me anymore. He will park outside my house for hours. I have no parents, very vulnerable. It was safer to have him in front of me than behind me unknowingly. Well, that makes sense because, look at what happened to Homegirl. When they're not around, you don't know when they're going to strike. But when they always around, you already know where they are. I understand that. I'm asking y'all to call in. We need y'all to get in on this. Calling from 323. You're live from the air. 323. 323. Okay, 323. I'm going to let you go. Calling from 314. You're live from the air.
Hi, Gigi. It's me.
Hey, me.
I'm so glad that we're on this subject, and I'm going to say some things that I have said before, and I'm going to try to shed some light because I'm older, and there are some young women on here. I've been looking at the chat and some of these comments. People just do not understand when you have been in an abusive relationship. I have been in one in my life, and it was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. I said the other night, and I need you to, young women, I need you to really, really listen. When you have your hand in the mouth of a lion, you have to work it out gently. You got to get a plan, okay? Gigi, I've said this to you before, and some people probably remember this conversation. I was with a man for 5 years, and I spent 2 trying to figure out how do I get out of this with my life, okay? You can go to court, and you can file a restraining order, and the way that works is basically you're going to like divorce court, civil court, okay? And the judge will sign this restraining order, but you want to know what he does with it? He gives it to you. They don't go out and they don't serve this person with a restraining order and say, stay away from her. They give it to you. And you want to know what they tell you? If he comes around, call the police and have the police come and give them this and have them serve him. Okay? By the time that happens, your ass is whooped. Okay? And like you said, Gigi, you said it, and I said it the other night. Okay. You call the police. He's gone. The police can't hang out at your house. Soon as the police leave, he's back. Okay? Gigi, I have had to come out of my house. And I was a young girl at the time, and I had a little apartment, and okay, let me go to this. Because people, why are you taking that? Why don't you just leave? Pack up your stuff and leave. Get a gun. I'm looking at these comments. But here's the thing. There's a such thing as grooming, okay? Just like little kids that are sexually abused, these men do this too, okay? I had a young lady tell me one time, this man called me bitch so much. I thought that was my name, okay? He said, bitch, I'd answer. Because they creep up on you with them. When you meet these men, and I said it the other night, and I keep saying, I hate to keep saying I'm repeating myself, but I am. But when you meet these men, okay, you're not meeting them. They're there with their representative. They're on their best behavior at first. At first. That's what draws you in. That's what they treat you good at first. Okay? Then the next thing you know, something you did, and he raises up and slaps the shit out of you. Okay? Then he's sorry, he loves you up, it's not going to happen no more. A couple of weeks go by, and then it happens again. And each time, it gets a little more frequent, it gets a little worse. Okay? And the other thing that they do, Gigi, is isolation. Okay? They start, something's wrong with your family. Something's wrong with all your friends. What they're trying to do is keep everybody away from you and keep you to him. Okay? Where he's all you got. He's all you got. Okay? And I'm going to tell you something else about a restraining order. People kept saying, she should have followed through. It's her fault. It's her fault. But do you realize that when you file a restraining order, and he is served, and they'll give you a court date, do you realize that you got to go to court, and you have to stand in court facing this person who done beat your ass over and over and over, because that's why you're there, because he done beat your ass. So, of course, a lot of women, I'm not going to court. I'm scared of him. If I press these charges, they're going to let him out. You see, they said the man has been arrested over and over and over. And this happens. We hear about it. She filed a restraining order, okay? She did this. She did that. It didn't do any good because he kept coming back. You got to get a plan. You got to get a plan. And now in the state that I'm in, and one thing that's going on is they know that a lot of these domestic violence cases, the young women are so scared of the man. They're scared to press the charges. They're scared to show up in court. They're scared to follow through. So now the state is starting to pick up these cases, okay? The jurisdiction that you live in, no, you don't have to press these charges against him. We're looking at your face, okay? We're looking at your face, and we are going to bring him up on these charges. But the other thing is, you're trying to live. You're trying to go to work. You're trying to survive. I had this man once. I basically got away from him. He would come to my house. This was before cell phones, okay? He would cut my telephone wires. I would be sitting there thinking, oh, my God, what is he going to do to me? And I can't even pick up the phone and call the police. And I live by myself. I got neighbors, but I live by myself, okay? What's going to happen if he come in here and kick in my door? If there were nights that I would be praying, and then the next morning trying to get up and walk down the street to a payphone because he done flattened the tires on my car, trying to get to a phone to call somebody and tell them, come out, please come out here and hook my phone back up because the man done did this. My car's sitting out here on 2 flats, so I can't come out and run to my car. I remember coming out of my house one day and seeing this man and running down the street and jumping on a bus and telling the bus driver, trying to digging for change and telling the bus driver with tears in my eyes, sir, you see that man right there? If you let him on this bus, it's going to be all kind of shit. I jumped on this bus to get away from him, and he said, ma'am, don't say anything else. And he just took off, didn't ask me no more questions. I don't even think I had enough change to put in there because I think I had a $20 bill and some change, and I'm just sticking change because I didn't know what else to do. And you can't say, well, she should have did this and she should have did it. Unless you've been in that position, you can't. You can't. You know, and it's rampant in the black community because a lot of these abusive men have learned this from their fathers. They watch their fathers abuse their mothers so much that they think that's what they're supposed to do. And I'm not giving him nothing, okay? Because I've had some more that think just the opposite. I would never do a woman like that. I saw my father do my mother like that, and I would never. I met a young man, okay? He was mixed. And we were just, I don't know how this conversation started, but like I told you, one thing I am is a good listener, okay? And he was telling me he was young and he had been in some kind of juvenile facility and he had just gotten out. And he was telling me about it. And he said, my dad's black and my mom's white. And my dad has never done anything for me. But he would come over to our house whenever he felt like it, and he would whoop my mother's ass. My mother took some ass whooping shit no woman take. And he said, and I shot him. I didn't kill him, but I shot him over my mother. And I got put into this facility, and I'm just getting out, and I'm so glad to be home. So you really can't say. And then, you know, it's hard. It's so hard. And I know I saw a young woman, and she put the burning bed, which is a good one, and sleeping with the enemy. But I'll bring you more up to date than that. I can Tina Turner. What's love got to do with it? How long did Tina take that abuse? And there was some money there too. And I don't care how much money she spent. It did not give him the right to take her life. Okay? Him going to jail for 10 years and leaving her with some money. What did he think she was going to do? She got to live? I don't understand because there's no excuse for this. That I'm trying to give you from a female perspective who has been through something like that. I can't tell you nobody else's story, but I can definitely tell you mine, okay? And it was one of the worst things I've ever been through in my life. And then at the same time, I didn't have any brothers, okay? My father was on some different things, but at the same time, I did have cousins, but I kept thinking, if I tell the wrong person, if I tell the wrong person and they approach this man and something happens, somebody's going to wind up dead and it's going to be behind me. It's going to be behind me. So I'm on my own trying to figure this out. I do not want to go to court and face this man because guess what? They're not going to lock him up. When we walk out of this courtroom, guess what? We're going to walk out of this courtroom, not together, but we're going to walk out of here at the same time. Nobody's going to stop him and say, let her go first. They're going to say, court adjourned, and we're going to walk out this door. Okay? And then the next time he see me, he going to whoop my ass because I took him to court because they're not going to lock him up. They're going to say, stay away from her. You got to stay within so many feet. And then, if I'm not mistaken, the restraining orders only last for so long. Gigi, does any of this make
90 seconds.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. But why, can you tell us why were you afraid for him to get hurt? Like, why were you protecting him? You said, and I'm thankful that you're sharing your story. This is very vulnerable. Thank you for opening up. Let's give it up for her opening up. But you said you didn't want to tell your relatives because you were afraid they was going to take him out. Why were you protecting him?
And then here is my cousin.
60 seconds.
Here's my cousin doing life for killing somebody. That's where I was. It wasn't, I don't want somebody to take him out. It was to the point where it went here, okay? Not, I'm scared for you to take him out. I'm finna take him out. Cousin, I need a gun. I'm sorry I wasn't supposed to say that, but cousin, I need a pow-pow. I need it, okay? This man has torn up my car, and I got to go to work. I got to walk out here, get on the bus stop, and stand here. And the man that already told me, I'm going to catch you on the bus stop and whoop your ass. Okay? I had to go different ways. Sometimes I had to go out of my way to get to work. Okay? I didn't want, I just couldn't.
10 seconds.
I can't have my cousin and all this is all your fault. He went over there and killed that so-and-so over you. No, I'm finna do it. I'm getting ready to do it. So I called look, I need you to get me a thing. Okay? I need you to get me a thing because I'm going to do. And then, but what did happen, and I'm glad you asked that, what did happen is my family kind of stepped in then. Okay, what time you got to be to work? Okay, we getting ready to come over there and get you. We're going to take you to work. What time you get off? We're going to come get you. Okay? So that was one way. And then I had a friend. Okay? I had a friend, and he was strictly my friend, but I told him some things one day, and he listened to me. And in the end, I did put some people in it because I told him some things, and like I said, he listened to me, and he came to my house, and he would sleep on my floor. Big bodybuilder type of dude, but ain't nobody finna come in and do nothing to you. I'm just going to be here. Okay? And the thing is, what I found out, and I think some people will agree with me, when you find this type of man, they'll fight women, but when it comes to standing up to another man, that's when the issues come in. That's where they got issues. Because he would call my house and hang up, call my house and hang up, call my house and hang up for hours. And I said, my friend, James, would you answer this phone? James, you don't have to say nothing to him. You don't have to challenge him. He's not going to say, but I just want him to know that you're here. Okay? James answered the phone, he hang up. Okay? Then I take the phone off the hook. It took a long time. You have to have a plan. And why I didn't get my family involved, because I didn't care what happened to him. And I'm going to tell you about that too. But I didn't care what happened to him. I cared what would happen. I'm finna go be visiting my cousin because he done shot this MF over me. Okay? I got to figure out something. Okay? Eventually, it died down
But
slowly,
wouldn't it be in self-defense? Like I would think, I don't know. What if you...
It wasn't self-defense because he was after me. He wasn't after my cousin. See, that's the thing. He after me. Okay? And what it would be? Premeditated. First degree. Okay? That's what it would have been. But if it was me doing it, this is why I finally got the nerve. I'm not doing this no more. I need you to bring me one of them things. I need you to bring me one of them things. And it got to the point where I was looking on Facebook one day, and I saw a man at the gas station pumping gas with his pow-pow in his hand, okay? It got to be like that, okay? When they couldn't take me where I wanted to go, everywhere I went, I had to have that and have my finger on it because I would use it through my jacket pocket. I would use it through my purse. Whenever I had to walk around freely like that, that's what I had to do. But eventually, it died down, and I would hear from it every blue moon, because by this time, I was with somebody else, and I would get those I want you back phone calls. Oh, no, ain't no way in the hell your evil ass will ever in life. No, okay? No. No. Eventually, some years later, the person that I'm speaking of died. And I remember calling my girlfriend and said, and I'm going to say his name was Mike. And I remember calling my girlfriend Jackie, and I said, Jackie, do you remember Mike? And she said, yes. And I said, Jackie, he's a dead MF. And she said, well, what did he do now? And I said, Jackie, he's a dead MF. And she said, well, what did he do? And I said, listen to me, he's a dead MF. And she said, well, do you mean that literally? Yes. I mean it literally. And guess who don't give a F? Okay? I'm just letting you know the MF is dead, and I'm over here celebrating, okay? And his death had nothing to do with me, okay? He got very sick. I still don't care. Not the way he treated me, I still don't care. And usually when people act this way, when men act this way, it's not the first time, okay? And it's like they once they're separated from somebody, then they move to the next victim, you know? And I think they're looking for a certain type of person. They're not looking for people who live at home with their parents or with other people. They're looking for somebody to be out on your own. I was listening to you when you said she threw his phone out, but she wouldn't give him the keys. Okay? He been coming over to her house fighting her. He hit her so hard he knocked her front teeth out. I never got beat like that. Usually it was where you couldn't tell, but I had that man one time choke me till I passed out. I remember that. I do remember that. And if he hadn't let go of my neck, he would have killed me. I remember getting up off the floor and trying to figure out what the hell just happened. You know? But also, like I said, please, it's kind of like blaming the victim. She should have just left. She should have just ran off. Just get out of Dodge. It's not that easy. And I was single. I can imagine this woman had 3 kids. Okay? So it's not just her packing up, but she got to pack up with 3 kids. And go where? Where's she going? Okay? If she go to a shelter, it's going to have to be in a different state, a different city, because he'll find her. Okay? This man would call up to my job. He would be outside my job. But when it got that bad, because he was doing this to me, because I stopped dealing with him when it really, really got bad, when he started cutting my phone line so I couldn't call anybody, when cut my cable to my TV, okay, flattened the tires on my car, sitting outside my job, but I had people picking me up from work, thank goodness. I had sense enough to open my mouth and say that, okay? I did, like I said, start walking around with a thing, okay? And I had some really, really good guys that taught me how to use it, so I was not afraid to use it. But thank God, God was just with me that after a while, he left me alone. Because you know how people tell you, well, you keep messing with that fool, okay? You keep messing with that fool no matter what I say. You keep messing with him and so and so, okay? So I'm just not going to say nothing. But I tell you what, when your mind is made up, when your mind is finally made up, okay, he will make you do a whole U-turn. A whole U-turn. Just like when Tina Turner finally, it took years for her to walk out on Ike. But when she was through, she was through. Through all the threats, I'm going to get you back, all of this, I bet not catch you out nowhere, through all of that. After a while, if you're able to come to your senses, and like somebody I was reading the chat before I got on. I don't read when I'm talking because it distracts me. But somebody kept putting in Stockholm Syndrome. And that's when you get an attachment to your abuser, your kidnapper. People have been abused and stuff like that, and then they come to court and speak on their abuse. Well, it wasn't that bad. And it was. It was. You know, and all I'm saying is if you've never been through it, then you can't speak on it. You can't speak on it. And I don't care. If she say the man went to jail for 10 years and then she spent his money. He gone for 10 years. I'm trying to figure out, I'm supposed to save your money for you for 10, you gone for 10 years. I put something on your books, but I got bills to pay. And you know I got 3 kids. Okay? And you say you a man and all of this. You know, and but see, I didn't hear that part in the story. I really didn't. But I guess they tell you what they want to say because they said that he was 32. So if he was in jail for 10 years, so what would that put him at, 22? And put her at 30-something?
No, he was. When this. You talking about in the past?
In the past? Well, I was just thinking about what the young lady said. She said he went to jail for 10 years and left her with this money. So he was 32 at the time of her death. So he went to jail at 22 and left her all this money. And then when he's 32, he thinks she's still supposed to have it 10 years later. And see, that's something else too. You a dope boy. Get you some more money. I don't care how much money she spent. You a dope boy. You know how to do it. That's what your ASS went to jail for. Get your ass out there on the corner and get you some more money.
Yeah, that's what she say, but I don't know how true it is because the article that we just saw, he was in and out of jail for 15 times. So I don't know when all this is going to take place. You know, that's just her story, what she heard. She said she don't have any facts to back it up. That's just what she heard.
But even if it was about some money that did not give him the right to take her life, it didn't give him the right to put hands on her, but they do. This stuff is rampant in the black neighborhoods. This stuff is rampant, and I tell you something else. And you know, these young women today, a lot of them are really, really smart. Okay, but years ago, it was legal to beat your wife. You know, it wasn't that long they made it illegal. It was legal to beat your wife. It was legal. And I don't want to keep bringing color into it, for white men to beat their wives, okay? And I remember one time reading a little law and saying that you could beat your wife on this day and this day, and you could beat her up twice on Sundays. And I that stuck in my head, that because what an atrocity. And it's always the women. You know, the women, we're the second-class citizens. We didn't have to fight to vote and every damn thing else, okay? And a lot of women are raised to stand by your man. That country singer that made that song, Stand By Your Man, he was a drunk and an abuser, and that's what she was singing about. Stand by your man no matter what. No, it gets old. It got old to me, but I can't speak for some other people. Some people get in they are abused so much and so long, they think it's normal. They think it's normal, and it's not. Some people have never been abused. You know what? Remember when I told you about? Well, we have so many conversations, Gigi. Remember we were talking about, and I brought it up. A lot of black people suffer from post-traumatic stress. Okay? And ass whooping is post-traumatic stress. When you're a kid and you get your ass whooped, somebody stand over you with a belt and beat the hell out of you and you can't do nothing about it, that's post-traumatic stress. And I heard them say that this man took a belt and beat her with it. Okay? They now, you can't beat on kids. They can call 911 on their mama or daddy if you hit them. Okay, and I tell you something else. Well, I can discipline my child. You can. You absolutely can. But what the system says, you can discipline your child, but we better not be able to tell you did it. But you know what, Gigi, the things that I'm telling you now, and I have a friend, okay, and we have been going through this for years and years and years. because I won't have the type of relationship that he wants to have. You know, and he says you surround yourself. You got plants everywhere. You got animals everywhere. You got 3 dogs and a cat, and you love them half to death, and then you don't have time for me, okay? And, GG, you come over my house and hit my dog, we finna fight. You better not put your hands on nothing that belongs to me. Not a kid, not a niece, not a nephew. You better not put your hands on nothing that belongs to me. And if you do, you better be lucky if you make it out of here with your life. I made my life where it's comfortable for me, and I don't tolerate any BS anymore. If I don't want it, I'm not going to do it. I come in here and I close my door, and it's peaceful, it's quiet. This is how I can sit up and wait for you to come on, okay? Because you don't hear no noise at my house. My cat is over here. My dog is over there asleep. One is out in the backyard. Well, 2 are back there asleep, actually. And then my big dog is out in the backyard. You know, but these are the things that I love because I'm too old for BS. I'm too old. I hope I shed some light on some things. I hope I haven't been too toxic.
You shared
I
some
hope I
light.
haven't.
Well, you're always a blessing. We appreciate you.
Look, I've talked enough. I'd like to hear, you know, some other people's opinion. But to the young women and any young woman who has gone through this or been through this, I don't care how you handle it. It's not your fault. And don't let anybody make you feel like it's your fault. It's this type of man. Because I'm older, and I ran across this only once in my life. And I never, as soon as I see a red flag, you got anger issues, I'm out of there. I'm out of there. Okay?
Yeah.
But anyway, I love your show.
Thank you.
I love you for your topics, and keep doing it. And I'm going to keep listening, and I'm going to keep calling.
All right. That's what I like
Have
to
a
hear.
good evening.
All right. Well, we got some other callers. We're going to let you go at this time. So we got callers in the queue. I want you guys to stay put because we're going to answer every person on the call. And I need y'all to like this video. You know, we don't have many likes up in here. Can we get the likes up? This is a very serious topic. We're talking about real people. Can we get the likes up for real people? I know y'all can come through for these celebrities. I know y'all can come through for these fake storylines on Love and Hip Hop. I know y'all can come through for the fake storylines on Zeus Network. But when it comes about real people, real black mothers, real black women in your community, you can't come through with the likes. Huh? You can't come through with the likes. All right, let's go on to the next caller. Calling from 626. You're live on the air, 626.
Hey, Gigi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Okay, cool. Thank you, sis. So one, I love your show. You always on point. And
Thank you.
I love how you was just the perfect writer ratchet, because that's what we need. I love that. I'm about that life. So thank you so much for keeping it real like that. But one of the things I wanted to add to the conversation, I think one of the things that happens is that, so you heard all about like the passport bros and those dudes like that, right?
Yeah, but you can't ask me now because I don't know nothing about them. I just see titles. But go ahead.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so you know how they go to other countries to find women who they say are more submissive, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I think we have, as black women, do not get that same amount of grace and respect. I think when it comes to that conversation about like passport bros, we are like more sympathetic to those women and say, oh, those women are being taken advantage of because they're marginalized. They're from a poor community and blah, 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 blah. Like, you know, we sympathize with those women, but we don't say that same energy for black women. A lot of black women, we are more marginalized and we are looking for resources. And that's just, you know, it's not about us, like, getting clothes and bags and stuff, a lot of us are responsible for our families, and a lot of us are responsible for other people and kids. And so when we get into relationships with these kind of dudes, a lot of times it's because we need resources for our families and our kids. And I don't think that Black women are given that same kind of grace and courtesy when it comes to that. Like, people don't realize a lot of us are out there struggling. And so it's just unfortunate, like, we run into dudes like these who are pulling these scams and doing these things that hurt us and hurt our community. But it's not because, we want thugs, or it's not because, like, we're trying to come up. It's literally because we're trying to survive, like other women in other marginalized communities around the world. And I don't think that conversation piece comes up a lot.
Got it. But the topic at hand was not about passport bros.
No. I know it wasn't. It was about this one young woman who lost her life to this dude she was messing with. And I just was trying to draw the analogy that a lot of people have more sympathy for other women than they do for Black women, because we also out here struggling for resources and things like that. And so when a lot of us end up with dudes like this dude, it's because we need resources. And it's because we're struggling to feed a family. And it's also because, like, we put up with a lot of abuse and stuff like that because we are a disadvantaged population.
Can we keep it on her so I won't get lost? Well, you're talking about her.
Yeah.
She had a job. She didn't need this man for nothing.
So she may not have need this man for nothing, but
yeah,
like,
so
is that the situation for a lot of Black women?
Around that, I understand that. Yeah, but that's given to we're going to go to a whole different topic in a different wing. But yeah, I'm just going to say I appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to let you go at this time. And let's give a big old thank you to Nicole Harris, donated $5. She said, narcissists target boss chicks, very attractive. The game is you can break her. Please stop thinking they are meek. These men want a challenge. Linda donated $2, and I thank everybody for donating $2 and donating anything on these topics. They're much needed because we need to continue to have these topics and call in and weigh in. Okay, so calling from 401, you're live on the air.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Lovely Mayhem.
Hey, Lovely. How's it going? Thank you for the donations. And I'm going to give you the floor. So please, go on. You have the floor.
So I know a lot of people question, why does she stay? And with me, and of course I'm only speaking for myself, but I just want people to understand that what my guy would do was he would scare me to death, and then he would soothe me by no longer scaring me. And like how that works is he would become my biggest threat, and then he would act like a normal person. So in my mind, it's like, oh, the threat is eliminated if he's at my kitchen table having lunch with me. I hope that makes sense. Because that would make me feel like, oh, okay, this is just, he's another person in my house acting normal. And for me, mine lasted 13 whole years. He met me when I was 17. He started, immediately, as soon as we met, he started stalking me within 4 months of that. And he would threaten me to hit me and things of that nature. So what I started to do was I started to isolate, and I had basically no support system. And my mother died when I was really young, and I didn't have any parents. I didn't have any siblings, so I was extremely vulnerable, right? But what he would do is he would park outside my house, even in the winter, in the summer, and I live in New England near Boston. So we would have crazy heat during the summer, and he would park outside my house for hours. I can't tell you the amount of times where I would approach his car, and he was there, like, dripping in sweat. And he would, just because he would park outside my house overnight. So that let me know, like, oh, my God, this guy is beyond determined. And the reason why I didn't call the police was because I feared retaliation. That was my one reason for never calling the police. I feared retaliation. And currently, right now, his best friend is a judge. His sister works at a courthouse. This just goes even beyond me fearing retaliation. It just gives me another reason to fear going to the courts, because it makes me feel like, okay, he has people behind the scenes that will support him and root for him. And I have an aunt who's a senator, and she pulls a lot of strings for a lot of people. So the reality is, if you're close to someone who works in a courthouse or is a judge, X, Y, and Z, they're going to work in your favor. I'm telling you the truth. So I always very much fear, like, oh, it will be a losing case. What will be the point? I didn't have a mom. I didn't have a dad. And this one individual paid me so much attention to the point, of course, yeah, he threatened me. He stalked me. He had physically hit me multiple times. Probably under 10 times he put his hands on me within a 13-year span. But I always thought, oh, but I know he has the capacity to hit me. So he didn't even have to beat me up. The fear of what he would do was enough. The fear. I never dated anyone. Today, I turned 30 years old not so long ago, and I'd never dated anyone but him because I was always too scared. So a lot of these guys, they beat you down mentally. And if you don't have a support system, it's like you might even run towards them for refuge because you're hoping, oh, if they cut it out, I have no reason to be scared anymore. And I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of people live in fantasy hoping that, hey, he can be my hero. You know, maybe if he see me so weak and vulnerable, then he will have some sympathy towards me, and he will love me again, and he will protect me, and he will understand me, you know? Yeah.
I didn't want him to protect me again. I just saw it as, okay, if he doesn't scare me, I don't have a reason to be scared because he's kind of like the boogeyman. I'm very much into astrology, and I'm always looking at the moon, right? I had a one-bedroom apartment. I have no parents, no siblings. And anytime my astrology app would tell me, oh, it's a full moon, it's a new moon, whatever. And I would go toward my window, and I can't tell you the amount of times he would be parked out there. And it would give me the heebie-jeebies. It would scare me to death, you know? And when he would knock on my door for hours, and I was always too scared to call the police. But when I would open the door, sometimes it would take 2 hours for me to open the door. But when I would open it, the fear would go away because now he's in front of me instead of unknowingly behind me. And for me, that's why it lasted so long. And I just want to tell you the truth. That was my situation. He would scare me to death, and then he would soothe me by not scaring me anymore. There's no more. And I want everyone to know that they don't have to be dusty criminals. Mine is a firefighter. He's always had a great career, his own place, a nice car. It really doesn't matter about classism. These guys are predators, and they will attack anyone. I just want you to know that.
Well, I thank you so much for informing us, and I thank you for telling your story and being vulnerable. We really appreciate that. You have helped and saved so many people that are listening that is in your same story. Okay, so we're going to let you go at this time. And, do you guys think every evening...
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
I could not stand listening that blog talk radio thing. I can't stand it. Every evening, we should talk about a topic similar to this because it's so many, and we can cover a lot of them and keep their name alive. Because let's be real, if this was your auntie, if this was your mom, if this was your sister, you would want people to keep your name or their name in the circuit to try to get justice. You don't know who's listening to this that knows something. Even though we know about her situation, her man or her ex-man is in jail. But when he come out, what's going to happen? Are people going to stick to the program and make him serve time in New Orleans? Because then again, we're going to have to run to the courts. They're going to have to, okay, can we prove that he actually did it? Yeah, we have video footage, right? But you know how this is in America. You can have video footage and then they're going to still say, I plead guilty. You know, so we have to stay on it. We cannot let up. We cannot have the spirit of laziness. We can't have the spirit of letting up, because they ain't going to let up. Is they going to let up going off of on your head? Huh? They're not going to let up. They are rallying the troops, bringing them home. So we need y'all to call in. And every evening I will go live about this every evening. We're gonna have a different girl every night. And y'all down for that? Please press 4 if you down for that. Have a different girl every night. Okay? And if y'all want me to, I'm gonna look in the comment section and see what you guys are saying in the comments. Men are built different, need resources. Ladies, stop thinking you can change a man, especially if he owns. Something is coming up on my phone saying, do you want to report your page? No, you don't want to report my page. What the hell? Ooh. The girls lied with them. I'm looking in the comment section. All right, well, I'm going to let you guys go. My throat is getting my throat is dry. I need some water, something. All right, well, I appreciate you guys. Until next time, and we're out. And thank you. Nicole Harris donated $20, and she says, I'm Atlanta. Black women here have $100K in the bank. Single, these men target ladies like this. Look at Rocky and Tasha. Okay, so yeah, they know that these black women, they got money, and they're going to be a gigolo for that money, and they're going to try to set these girls up, you know. And it's a sad, and they're going to rob too. They love robbing you at the gas station. Let's give a big old thank you to Pamela, donated $5 in our Cash App. Thank you so much, Pamela. All right, DJ, come on, bust it.